to go to voicemail, so...
Well, hi, Justin.
I just
Hi there, Justin. How are
Oh, he's not actually
you?
here this time.
Who would like to give a recap of last session?
Laura dealt with the consequences of being drunk. Tavro, she went to bed. Tavro screamed at some people, started a riot, and then there was death everywhere. Escher and Fawks got shirtless and did some spells and got some corpses.
Yeah. It's like naked, and we were like, "What the fuck is happening?"
What did Kai do?
he was watching Tavro the whole time. Kai didn't do much last session.
I watched the chaos from a distance, and there was some scrying that we discovered, as well as several spells being cast on people, and a couple of magic items, apparently, and yeah, a couple corpses.
Yeah, honestly, that's pretty solid. And then I know you asked if before you take the long rest you could go down and offer some healing services, so you made a little bit of cash on the side. As everyone is now back in the room towards the end of the day, you hear a little rasp on the door. And you hear the voice of the kobold tailor kind of come up. Hello, are you all in here? I've come to take your measurements.
Yeah, Clara's passed the fuck out.
You need to do that. That's actually a good point.
All the armor we ordered.
Clara, you've been here for a few days. They already have your measurements.
I mean, if nobody else is, I'll let the little fucker in so he can get his job done.
You open the door and he kind of just goes, yes, thank you. Oh, looks like everybody's here. Wonderful. And he looks over to Clara and he goes, well, we already have the measurements for the lady. The rest of you seem...
We like a ton of clothes already.
Exactly. Like, you have custom wardrobes already from the week you've been here. And he just goes, all right, well, I believe most of you needed something. So, who's up first?
You can let one of them go first. I don't exactly know how this, works.
Well, I'm already missing my shirt, so I suppose go ahead.
And he kind of like looks at you, and you see as he licks his lips a little bit and goes, yes, we can get started with you. And he starts like going over, and he takes your measurements, has you stand up, spin around a little bit. He has like 4 different measuring tapes that he wraps around various parts of your body. He goes, wonderful. Now could you just confirm your order with me so that I make sure that everybody gets the right pieces?
Yes. The scale mail. Custom engraved with the colors of Orzhov.
All right, I had you noted correctly. Wonderful. And I believe that for you it was because it was just a tailoring and nothing magical. We're giving you at a steep discount as you are a guest of Lady Hekara.
Yes, that was accurate.
Wonderful. Do you have it on you now, or would you like to pay in the morning when I'm able to give you?
Well, on my character sheet, I already subtracted the money, so I'll just say I pay right now.
You know what? Yeah, I actually think I had everybody pay 2 sessions ago, so,
I don't think I did.
I paid.
Considering it was 400 gold for mine, and I don't have that much, I think I paid already.
Well, I paid for my own and also for Tavro's, because I have a note that I have an IOU from Tavro for 200.
Right. Yeah, so I think everybody already paid, and Escher, correct me if I'm wrong, you were just looking for, like, some leather armor, right?
No, I want Fox's armor refitted to me.
Oh, yes, it is a refitting for that, so yours, you didn't have to pay because you're using existing materials.
Okay. That's
Alright.
why I didn't pay then.
Yeah, so we'll skip all the payment stuff, and, alright. Anybody else? The Minotaur and, yes, the Minotaur I'll need, the Goblin I already have. You, the scientist, for the refitting. Although you seem to be of similar heights. And then the
Yes, however,
Vidalcan
he's a
and...
little bit larger than I am, and I wouldn't mind a little extra flexibility in the limb bits if that would be possible. My work is rather intricate.
The limbit.
Yes, yes. Formith and Lady Zarilla have also requested heavier armors that will not impede their spellcasting abilities. So we are well versed in making such things.
I more meant the and he like wait is Fox, where is your armor right now? Is it just like on the floor?
Well, it's still in my inventory, so I'm assuming it's
Ah.
like on the floor right now.
Because I would just kind of pick it up and hold up one of the sleeves and be like, maybe we can just do away with whatever this part is called and maybe a few more of these pieces and make it not quite as heavy.
Ah, yes, yes. We can refit it as more of a scale mail vest as opposed to the full covering.
Sure, that will suffice. As long if it'll stop an arrow, that's all I need.
As long as they don't shoot you in the arm.
Fair enough. Well, luckily I don't keep my vitals there.
Huh.
That gives me an idea. Never mind.
All right. And well, for you, the monk, I believe you just were going for a cloak. I don't think we need any particular measurements, just your neck when you get a chance.
Feel free, as I just kind of drop my robe just to my shoulders.
Wonderful, wonderful. And you actually, everybody can give an insight check if they want.
Sure.
This might be more of a passive insight thing, but I already said it, so too late.
I can open my character sheet.
My passive insight is only one less than that, so...
Same, actually.
Alright, so Escher and
Oh, wait, no.
Gideon, you kind
Never
of...
mind.
You're watching, and it's subtle at first, but especially you, Gideon, you realize, as he's taking the measurements of everybody, he seems to get agitated as he is, like, taking measurements around the neck area. And Gideon, you actually note, like, at one point when he's taking Kai's measurements, you see as he, like, opens his mouth a bit and the fangs grow out a little bit longer than they were before he, like, closes his mouth back up and continues on the taking the measurements.
Oh god, he's a vampire.
I mean, yeah, they're thralls that probably feed on blood. But are they hungry?
They hungry.
Yeah, it just seems that getting right up in the neck might be a little bit more temptation than they're used to.
And can I mention after he takes mine, I'm like, and could the robes just be a plain drab color? No guild or association or anything.
Yes, yes, of course. Not a problem at all. And then he kind of, like, since you're next to him, he just looks up. All right, you're tall, as he just stares at Tavro, and then takes the measurements. And then Gideon comes over to you and goes, "You're a cloak as well, correct?"
Yes.
then I'll just need to see your neck for proper fitting, and wraps the like measuring tape around your shoulders. All right, since payments are all taken care of, I will be back in the morning with all of your newly fitted armors. And Sir Fawks, may I have your former piece that I may use to outfit for Sir Escher?
Yes, of course, as I hand it over.
Wonderful, wonderful. And it's
Time to kill him.
because he's also taking Tavro's old armor. So he's taking Tavro's armor and your scale mail, and this is like a 3-foot tall kobold. He does not seem even slightly winded as he's just like huffing it over his shoulder walking out the room.
Wait, what was Tavro's old armor? What did he have?
Tavro was wearing... I think he was wearing chainmail.
I'm assuming we got
As a
along.
barbarian, I
Not yet.
thought I didn't think he could.
I'm about to.
I guess maybe you can.
Yeah, no, you
don't know.
can wear light, medium, or heavy armor as a barbarian. You just can't use the unarmored proficiency,
Yeah.
which he wasn't, because his dex is
Weird.
at the base score. And that
Weird.
would have been bad.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Alright, is there anything anyone would like to do before taking a nice little nap?
I would like to have another secret session with all my closest friends. Except Clara.
Well, yeah, Clara's asleep.
I'd be
Yeah.
fine just taking the long rest. I feel like we've done a lot of like one more thing before the rest. I'd be fine just taking it.
It's up to you guys.
Also,
Oh.
if we take a long rest, Lizzie can play again.
That's fair. Yeah, so everybody gains the benefits of a long rest. That
Yeah.
being said, for each and every one of you, your rest is interrupted by strange dreams and visions. Premonitions of the future told by vestiges of your past. Or, for some of you, your present. Omens of times to come, questions answered in indirect ways. You've all learned something. And now, you wake up to the sound of the earliest revelers already beginning the day of drinking at the bright and early point of like 4 a.m., where now the last people from yesterday's party are filtering out, and the first revelers of today's session begin arriving and immediately hitting the bars. What would you
how
all like to do?
levels of exhaustion
Ooh.
work again?
Exhaustion.
Do you have a level of exhaustion?
You told me I was gonna get one when I wake up.
I forgot about that.
Level 1 gives you disadvantage.
Yeah, level
on-
1 gives you disadvantage on ability checks.
Wonderful.
I would like to encode thoughts and message to Kai, and that will be it.
Oh man, he placed it on my head.
And now, as you're all waking up, a bit groggy, and coming to terms with, actually, this is going to be passive. I need to check everybody's passive perception real fast.
Clara just wakes up screaming.
Is it 8 plus your bonus or 10 plus?
10 plus bonus. It's as if you had rolled a 10.
You know what I just realized? On the updated character sheet, I think it shows you the passive scores at the very end. Is that the number in the parentheses?
Yes.
Oh, it is! Yeah, when you hover over it, it's a
Yeah.
passive. Didn't even realize that.
Nice.
Yeah, so, Escher,
Yeah, mine's
you
good.
immediately notice as you wake up, and it's kind of fitting that you're the one who notices this, as you wake up and you, before you even blink yourself and see, you feel a heavy pressure on your chest. And as you open your eyes, you see a man made out of goop and ooze standing on your chest with a knife to your throat.
Oh shit. Oh boy.
And
Hello.
Hero was thinking Escher
What, you
really-
think you just get to fucking kidnap me?
I was bringing you somewhere safe so that way nobody injured you. Good to see you're okay.
Give me a persuasion check. You expect me to believe that? Listen, it's not my first step around the block as an ooze. Everybody wants to fuck the ooze, or kill the ooze, or eat the ooze, or take some of the ooze to make some potion or some shit. The fuck did you take me for?
Mostly to speak with you. I've never seen a creature like you before, and I have a lot of questions for you, if you don't mind. Unfortunately, you were unconscious when we came up here. I had to wait.
And you see as he kind of like looks around and notices everyone else in the room, and he steps off of your chest but keeps the like little dagger up. He goes, ask you questions, then let me go.
I'd put the knife down. It won't end well for you.
Ask the questions, then just let me go, man.
Well, it's going to take quite a bit of time, and I would prefer you to be in a more relaxed state so I can trust that your answers are truthful and not under duress.
I don't
Perhaps
feel...
over a drink.
And as you say that, you see as on the side of his head, ears form and then perk up in response to the word drink, and he goes, see, this one's speaking my language.
Yes, I mean, if you would like to discuss this over a drink, I'd be more than happy to cover your fees.
And you see as he like spins the knife, just shoves it inside his own body where it just starts like floating, and he goes, well, that's where you should have started with. Let's go.
I tried. You were unconscious.
Ah, pish posh. Let's get a drink.
Oh, all right then. Well, I suppose I will be back, everybody. Clara, when you're fully conscious, take a look at Gideon's rings, would you? Thank you.
At this point, Clara wants to wake up just screaming bloody murder.
I'm gonna flick 2 silver coins to Escher and just say, apologies for suggesting that. Here's payment. As I then rush over to Clara and just go, there. The cracklings, crackle poppers can't get you here.
The what?
Whatever the drugs
The
that turn.
crackling cracker.
Have you ever had a dream where you
Like a sling, hang glasher, thing, fashers.
Fox is just gonna assume it's the previous trauma of seeing demon goblins and go to the drugs.
No, yeah, Clara's gonna be screaming and then just be like, guys, Mama's bad, we can't let her get it.
Well, we knew that much.
Yeah, this is not new information, Clara.
No, it's real bad, it's really bad, it's worse than we thought.
Clara, wait 1 second as I pluck a memory and just put it in her head to encode thoughts. Me saying that we are actively being scried as of, what, like 10 hours ago?
before you went to bed, you knew that you were being scried. About 2 or 3 hours before that is when you found it out.
She's just gonna be breathing really hard, like, this isn't good, this is really bad, this is not good, and kind of like rocking like on the ground.
Wait, this is more of a metagame question. If we send like encode dots to each other, can the scry detect that or no?
The scry can see that you're doing it, but it can't read it.
I'm
Okay.
pretty certain scrying is like it's like a person physically being there. They don't know like your inner thoughts or
Okay.
Yeah, so
Scrying
that-
is basically a CCTV camera that follows around the person being scried.
So imagine like Amanda listening to our conversation. She's scrying us right now.
Okay.
Tell her I'm sorry.
Clara, do you just need comforting, or would you like some spells to help you overcome your fears?
My head hurts really bad, and I don't know why.
Well, that's the
But we can tell
consequences
you
of your actions.
We fought the big bad guy, and then we won the money, and then I don't really remember the rest.
Klarna.
See, when a man and a woman really love each other, but one of them drinks too much, then that person stops remembering everything, and then you wake up the next day and everything hurts.
I don't like this very much. Ooh. Oh, wait. Mr. Fox, I have something to tell you, but they're watching.
Clara, don't you know the spell?
Oh yeah. Okay. And Clara is going to use encode thoughts and hand a string to Fox that just says, "One of the Orzhov leaders is dead."
I'm just gonna encode a thought, hand it back, and say, "Yeah, the Ghost Council's all dead."
She again encoding thoughts back. No, he's like dead. Like they didn't know it could happen, and it did.
They killed a ghost?
Does Clara know what happened, or just that they died?
To be clear, Clara, let me pull it up just to make sure I give you the right thing. Clara was told that in the immediate future, one of the Obsidat will die.
You said they did die. You said one of the Obsidat were killed.
Yes, as part of your question about the future.
My question wasn't about the future, it was about the present.
Well, it is
What was
a
your question?
divination.
It's never a bad person.
It is a divination magic. It wasn't necessarily about the exact moment you were asking. Some of it is in the past, some of it is in the future. So, in yours, you were told about the Obsidat being killed. You don't know if that has happened yet, if it's about to happen, if it happens in the future.
Well, now you're just pedaling back on your words, but sure. So instead, she tells Fox that I think one of those ghosty boys is in danger.
On one hand, a job opening. On the other hand, I suppose I should help him.
Right. Give me a second, because now Lizzie is questioning my integrity, and I have to send her the screenshot of the notes I took as I was doing it.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah, I
you
was
mean the
gonna say, I
notes
trust the
you
man with the
took
notes.
on the beach in a fucking suit when you were drunk?
Man, if only
Yeah,
there was
but
like
I
a better
still
time
took
to
the
have done
fucking notes.
Do you know what kills them?
This man.
Yeah, you know
I
where
would
it
like
says
to encode thoughts to Tavro and just say, get a load of these guys.
Tavro passes you back an encoded thoughts that just says moo.
Kai will just nod solemnly in response.
Okay, the note Zach sent me. First of all, Zach, I don't know what any of this means. You just wrote the name of the car. Second thing, I just like how a question is, what is my mother?
Yeah. But to be clear, under the past and future section, The first card is the past, and the second card is the future, and Raven was the death of an Obsidian.
I thought the death of the Obsidian was Ghost.
No, that is important people around you. There is a significant undead that is going to play a part here that is separate from the Obsidian assassination.
Good lord. Either way, Clara tells Fawks that one of the ghosty boys is in danger.
What are they in danger from?
Dying!
What does the killing?
I don't know, I just know that it's bad!
Huh.
Also, we don't know what's trying us, right? We just know something.
Yeah, we're not able to find the source anywhere on him.
So if Clara wants to talk about her mother and you guys shush her, it's because we don't know if it's her.
Yeah. It's very possible that when we walked in here, that something just cast a spell on one of us and chose an easy target for something that clearly already has magic effects on him.
But guys, we really need to talk about the thing. And she's like winks really like largely to them.
And Kai will respond immediately and say, "Yes, I know." Winks back.
No,
Metagaming. Kai is talking about something totally different.
yes, I figured. No, it's like really bad, guys.
Uh-huh.
And then she sticks her tongue out and points at it. And then makes like this big like this like demon, like she's probably like acting like she's some big bad demon, and then like makes it into like a puppet. Like it looks like strings are being on the puppet, and she like pretends to be like dancing a puppet because Clara doesn't really understand that they can also see her.
No, Clara, we cannot get you drugs. I don't care how fun the poppers looked when we delivered them. You can't have them.
That's also a very bad Tavro impression.
Oh my head.
Pop a couple ibuprofen,
Uh-huh.
young one, and you'll be just fine.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So anyone else got some fun things to share?
I already shared it with the one that needed to know.
Oh.
Zach, I know you'll send me the breakdown later, but mine wasn't an immediate impact to the party, if I remember correctly, right?
Yours was mostly coming down to your relationship with Merolathia.
Okay, that much I know.
Yeah, for yours, it wasn't really an immediate thing. Yours was mostly to do with Merolathia, and the hey, Mr. Taz can probably make us go full dragon real fast if you want, but I'm gonna take your fucking body if we do that.
Yeah, okay. So, not anything that needs to be addressed right now, so be good.
Wait,
Out of everyone's, I think yours was the most individual.
Guys, I don't really, like I said, I don't really remember what happened last night. But like, did we find the person? Did we do the thing we were supposed to do?
Yes, Clara, we did the thing.
Oh.
Angela Bassett also did the thing.
What now? How long will it have until your mother marches?
Oh, is that today? Oh gosh. Oh no, jeez. Oh my head.
Think, Clara. Think. When was the marching?
She said the next day, right?
I mean, couldn't we just ask somebody here? I'm sure there are lots of servants and workers around.
I would like to go into the hallway and like wave down a servant.
And yep, as soon as you open the door, there are already like kobolds just waiting for you.
We get perhaps a glass of water, a glass of tea, and perhaps a schedule for the next few days.
Did you say a glass of tea?
Yes, for the little one's head.
They say glass of water.
I said that too.
Oh.
Not what he meant.
I think Escher's more upset that you're putting tea in a glass.
Yeah.
From downstairs, he gets a sudden twinge of anger and goes, "That's weird." Anyway.
But he responds, actually, that works well. It will all be prepared for you in the main dining hall. Lady Hekara has requested everyone's presence. I'm sure she'd be willing to explain the next steps as her chosen warriors. I'm sure she'll want you in on the plans. I believe that's why
Indeed.
you've been summoned.
Thank you, thank you. We will get ready and head right over. Would you mind sending a message to our compatriot who went to get a drink this morning as well?
Yes, it was observed that he was heading back to the bar area with the plasmoid. We will fetch him and let him know of the summons.
Yeah. Then Fox will go in, inform everyone else that we have been summoned and to get ready.
Clara puts on her best fucking robes that they made for her and like puts on the biggest cheesy like everything's okay. I am so happy. I love you, mama face.
You know what? Just preemptively, give me a performance check.
Oh god.
Performance to see how well she dresses herself.
So I have the level of exhaustion toggled. Is it gonna auto do disadvantage or do I
It should automatically prompt disadvantage.
Well, it just prompted the normal thing.
Oh, then yeah, just roll disadvantage.
Okay.
Oof!
Oh, wonderful!
Everything is fine, mother.
Her whole outfit is on backwards.
Her outfit's on
She's just
backwards
going
and
to
she is
be
just.
hiccuping after every word.
Oh no, I was thinking she was just openly crying while eating.
Alright, so, are you all heading down after Clara tries to act happy but has a panic attack?
Laura, do you need a minute?
No, I'm a big girl, and I can do this.
Alright.
1, 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. In 2, 3. As she tries to do breathing exercises.
Alright, so you all head down. Escher, one of the kobolds comes up to you after the ooze has answered all your questions. It's been around 40 minutes.
Yeah, I figured it'd be about an hour.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I'll be sending you those over Discord. But
Yeah, that works.
yeah. And fetches you and lets you know that the rest of your party is heading to the main dining area where you and the rest of them have been summoned by Lady Hekara.
Already? I was just getting to the good bits. Oh, alright. Well, before I lose any more money, I suppose that's probably for the best.
Actually, Zach. Oh, sorry. Keep going,
Yeah.
Vinny.
I was just gonna tell the kobold, I don't seem to recall where that is. Can you just, show me where they are?
I'd be happy to escort you, sir.
Thank you, little whatever you are.
What was it, Gideon?
Before we leave the room, can I actually like whisper over to Kai and just be like, I need to ask you a quick question after we go downstairs.
Okay, then just ask it downstairs then.
I said,
As we proceed out of the room.
no, I want it to be a private conversation.
I will walk in the back of the group with Gideon.
Okay. And then I guess as we're walking down, I'm gonna encode Fawks and ask him if he knows of any Azorius enforcers who seem to have a lapse in their I don't know if you guys have like logs of like
Journal.
journals of like what you've been enforcing or
Reports.
reports. Yeah, words are hard today.
Yeah, that. I guess I'll also encode back, like, recording is a large part of our process. There's no case that we enforce that is not documented thoroughly.
Do you know of any who have significant lapses in their reporting history?
I suppose I don't know of anyone personal that would be that would be enforcing anything at that level. There is, of course, corruption rampant throughout the guild, but nothing that I myself am privy to any names of.
Himself.
Hey, I do my job.
Okay. And I just encode thoughts back, like, I think somebody is strong arming some of the Azorius enforcers and wiping their memories after to do their bidding. At least that was the information I gleaned in my dream.
Interesting.
I don't think we all told each other we had dreams. We just all happened to have
Well, I have
divination
Now that we
dreams.
if we don't really want to.
Yeah, but I just mean like we all had dreams, and no one's like, "Wait, you had one too?"
Well, I now have 2 people that told me my guild is corrupt immediately when we woke up.
I mean, to be fair, there's corruption in all of the guilds.
And
Not the Orzos.
No, she isn't.
if there's any guild where people are going to want to bribe them, it's gonna be the Azorius.
It's working.
Yeah. I'll just say, while unsurprising given current events, it's certainly worth looking into. We'll talk later.
Sounds good. Okay, that's it.
All right. And as you wrap that little subtle sliding of encoded thoughts back and forth, all of you arrive with your escorts at the main dining hall, where you meet up and you see Hekara already inside, notably without Formith and Zarilla.
Hi, Mama.
Dum-dum.
How are you? My head hurts really bad.
Ah, yes, there they are.
And she just looks at you and goes, "Oh, what's wrong, little one?"
Well, I don't know. We were having such a great time, and then everything just went black, and then I woke up, and now my head hurts.
She drank.
Ah, yes, still new to our culture. Very well. You're becoming more and more Rakdos every day. It's a good thing.
Yay! And she like does this like forced smile and holds a thumbs up.
You seem very You know what? We can blame it on the hangover. I'm sure you'll be happier once that's out of your system. Now, I've called you all here today to follow up a bit on yesterday's events. So, I've named you all my chosen. Do you understand what that means?
Assume that somebody didn't remember when this occurred. Could you potentially elaborate on what that means?
Let me guess. You want us to do your bidding in this march?
Yes, there are some tasks that require a more specialized small force to handle in the upcoming battle. And I think that with your ability to take on that automata demon, you'll all be capable of carrying out what I ask of you.
Really quick, this is like reversing a lot, but the automata demon, did that look anything like that other Is It experiment that was unleashed?
Not even a little bit.
Okay.
Other than, like, it obviously had Is It tech in it, but not in the this is a similar experiment, just in the, like, yeah, there's underlying Is It tech in both of them.
Okay, never mind then. What do you need us to do, Mama? I'll do anything you need.
Now that's what I like to hear. So first off, the party's going to continue today. I need you all to not be in attendance. A forward force that is able to do some scouting and an initial hit while my sister believes that we are still partying and not ready to strike yet will be able to catch her off guard. I believe this will be essential in the coming battle. I may be more tactically minded, but she's quite strong. So, I need you to take out a piece of her defense force. Specifically, at her manor. Well, here we favor kobolds as our thralls, in respect for Formith. My sister favors giants.
And what do you need us to do, Mama?
I need you to go and, however it is you decide to do so, take out the two that guard the west entrance. If you can slip in afterwards, even better. But that is considered the main gate of Lyzada's manor. They won't expect a small force to try and break in there, and I expect that she'll be putting more of her defenses in the coming days, as I'm sure she's already heard about my announcement from yesterday, at the various weak points. Now, if I'm correct, that means today and tomorrow, the main west gate will be under-defended as compared to its normal bolstered defenses. If there's only the two giants there, I believe that this group of you, can take them out, bribe your way past them, slip something into their drinks so they're drowsy tomorrow. I don't know, but tomorrow we will be storming the west gate. The less defenses there, and the more subtly you can deal with them so that it isn't caught in time, the better. Now, if it is caught, and they start restocking that, wonderful. It means that the side gates will be back to defenseless. Either way, this is a win for us, assuming you lot can handle it.
So you just want us to go take out the front gate and leave?
Well, if you can manage your way inside afterwards, that's even better, but it certainly wouldn't come without risk.
We can handle anything. Don't you worry, Mama.
No, incorrect. We cannot take on the entire palace ourselves. If they catch on to the front gate, I assume there are going to be reinforcements that will try to wipe us out.
But we won't let you down. Don't worry.
again, we're not promising that. We cannot storm the entire place ourselves.
You should
Only
really
if we
take
really
after...
believe.
Mr. Guillot, I really think you should take after my daughter a bit more.
I can never let Mama down. As she like smiles through her teeth, like I'm in danger.
Yes, I thoroughly believe that you believe that.
You act so different when you're hungover, little one.
Now then, I think
Forgive
my
Forgive my poor memory, but Fox, before we inquire further, I'm just curious to know, as a reminder, Miss Hekara, does somebody of your power and status not have anybody more better suited for this type of espionage than... And he kind of just gestures to the rest of them sitting there.
Well, isn't that exact thought the perfect reason why this would work? They're not
No, I don't
expecting
believe it
you.
is.
Mr. Escher, I am Mama's chosen. I am blessed by her power. Obviously, I can do it.
Well,
But
at this point, we might as well just send you by yourself, Clara.
what I think my esteemed compatriots are trying to say is, perhaps with a little bit of motivation and understanding of what exactly the perks of being the esteemed champion of Hekara would entail if this all goes to fruition.
Oh,
I mean,
but
I'm
of
afraid to
course.
stay alive, for sure.
Of course, I wouldn't be sending you off without any sort of compensation or reward. No, I very much intend to make each of you a noble within the Rakdos once this is done. You see, once I'm leading, I will need those who work under me. I can offer you land and power. And if you'd like something a bit more clandestine, how is free access to my treasury?
Okay.
Tavro would be like, what about the pastries?
No, Tavro would be very satisfied with access to the treasury, I think.
Yeah, he likes his pastries, but he's not a buffoon.
And also, it's Brian. Every single one of his characters is motivated by money. So, back on what we do if and when we get inside. What are we doing once we're inside?
Well, if you make it inside, you'll be able to clear the way for my forces as we storm tomorrow. Now, as everyone will be at the gate defending and fighting, if you're already inside at that point, it should be easy for you to simply walk right up and assassinate my sister.
Wait, I'm sorry, we're going to be doing that?
You could take out my automata demon, why not?
Well, that seems a job more befitting for, I don't know how you would put it, an assassin?
Yes,
Mr.
it does,
Escher,
doesn't it?
anything
Well, it's a...
Mama needs, I am her faithful, devoted servant.
And Clara actually makes a good point. You know your daughter quite well. At this point, you must know, an assassin she is not.
No, but I can say I've started doing my research on you all, and you've managed to take out one of the Shadow Assassins, so I figured you might as well take up the mantle as well.
Being able to defeat one in open combat does not bestow upon us the skill set to do so. For a task like this, I find it strange you would come to a scientist, a cleric clad in head to toe in metal, and a minotaur. Perhaps there's some way you could aid us in this endeavor if you truly want us to be successful.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mama. What about Zorilla and Formith? Can they come help? I think the three of us united against her might really put on a show, you know?
I have decided that they will march with me tomorrow, as it will be good to have at least two of my children by my side when I storm the castle, and that's further reason why it's best that you be the one of my children, trusted that you are, who goes ahead. Only those who have managed to be at the party for the last day, actually know what you look like. If Formith or Zarilla were to approach, well, it would be known immediately. If you approach, well, there's lots of goblins in the Rakdos.
Okay, okay.
In any case, I'm sure you have plenty of intelligence to share about the exact layout and other information about this gate that we could look at.
Now that I can provide. Yes, my sister's mansion, while I have not been graced with an invitation as of late, I do know the general layout, and some of my other spies have been able to give me architectural plans. So, I will have one of the servants bring you the current layout, at least to the best of my knowledge, so that you have a map of the building going in. I will mark the places where you are to infiltrate, take out their defenses, and sneak your way in. Once you're there, additional steps, if you manage to succeed, will reveal themselves on the page. I will enchant it with proximity, so that those instructions cannot be read by anyone other than you, and anywhere but on the grounds of her manor. We have to be subtle about these things, as I'm sure you understand.
Indeed, and how far of a journey would it be, and what time do you think would be best for us to strike to coincide with your upcoming attack? At night?
Yes, if you could strike tonight, it will be too early for her to expect us, given the war party raging on today, while still giving you all a few hours to prepare and do whatever you feel you need to do before the mission is undergone.
Well, that being said, on such a short time frame, I think there is another matter that needs to be addressed. It would seem that you've given us 2 tasks to complete. You've asked us both to remove the guards from the west gate as well as infiltrate the manor. Seeing as this is a new endeavor for us and we're not experts, it stands to reason that we may not be in a position to accomplish both tasks. Is one of them a priority to you?
Yes, take out the giants guarding the gate if possible. If infiltration is the better option, I will leave that up to you. Or if you can infiltrate after taking out the guards, that would be ideal. But if all choices are even and it comes down to it, I would prefer the gate be less guarded.
I suppose that is acceptable. That is good information to have.
And you did ask if there was anything I could provide to help with the endeavor, and I do have something that I think might help with the most ambitious of the tasks. And you see as she reaches into a bag at her side and pulls out a small device that kind of looks like a small black brick with rune etchings carved all over it. She goes, if you do manage to make it to my sister, throw this at her. If it manages to strike her, well, she'll be taken care of for at least a short while. I don't believe she'll be able to regenerate at a pace that would let her come back. At least not before we're able to take her key.
Your
Clara wants to
sister.
throw the brick at Kai.
As you go to grab it, she goes, maybe when you're not as hungover. It is a one-time use thing.
That is a wise decision. But
No, hold on,
your
no, throw it at me. I'll deflect missiles right back to Hekara.
Oh god.
your sister, based on you providing this object with us, it sounds like she's quite powerful.
Indeed, I'd like to think with a bit of pride that I am the stronger of us, but in all honesty, I simply have the machinations, a better brain for it. If it's
So-
pure power we're speaking, she probably has the upper hand.
And how do you expect us to defeat a blood witch of her power with a brick?
With the blood witch of my power!
You see, this has been, very specially designed for the occasion. Throw it at her, get close enough, and it should disable her for a time being. Most other creatures would probably be considered dead, but my sister isn't most creatures. It will simply take her out long enough for us to finish raiding her manor, get the key, and abscond with it.
I was about to say, does Escher, with his permanent magic sight, see anything special about the brick?
Oh, absolutely. He probably
Yes,
does.
it
I was assuming that.
It is absolutely a magical device. You just get the School of Magic with Detect Magic, correct?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
1 second. I need to check which one it actually is.
I can see a faint aura around any visible creature underneath that bears magic. You learn the school. Oh, okay. I didn't actually realize Detect Magic specified that if it's not visible, you can't see it. That's actually good to know. Yeah, it's just a faint aura around any visible bears magic. You learn the school of magic, if any. So there's not like a definitive school of magic, and I just know it's magic.
It is a transmutation-based artifact.
Well, forgive my line of questioning. I've seen what happens when Clara gets her hands on things that are rather powerful, and I'm a bit hesitant to take a device that is that destructive with
It
us.
looks like gunpowder. Let me at it.
Well,
I simply wish to know more about how it works to ensure that nobody damages themselves with it as he looks over to Clara.
Well, you see, as part of the failsafe in crafting this, it can only be activated by a blood witch. Clara will be the one who has to use it.
Then I think giving us as many instructions as possible as to how it works would be of utmost importance.
Clara just
Perhaps
grabs
in
the
writing,
first
if
thing she
possible.
sees.
Well, there are a few ways that you can... The most precise way actually doesn't require you to throw it at Lyzada at all. All that it needs to activate is a drop of Clara's blood to activate it as a blood witch, and then the blood of the target. If you manage to get a drop of Lyzada's blood, I mean, you could activate it from here if you wanted to. But I figured, let Clara put a little bit of blood on it, and as long as it touches Lyzada's skin at some point, it will be just as effective. So, throw it at her.
And what will happen afterwards? Should we steer clear of the area? Clara's equipment tends to be rather volatile. In simpler terms, is it going to explode?
It's not meant to.
Oh, thank
And
the
I don't
heavens.
know how it would.
Oh,
No,
Clara will
simply...
find a way.
No, it's simply going to, think of it as a little cage. It will suck her into it and trap her. And
Oh, thank heavens. Oh, okay. We're not nearly as at risk as I thought.
it won't hold her forever, but importantly, it traps her magic along with it. Her thralls will lose their magic and be unable to revive while she is trapped.
Fascinating. Well, as long as there's no risk of, say, a 20-foot radius ball of fire erupting from it for no particular reason, then I won't I think perhaps giving it to Clara isn't as deadly as I thought.
No, I think you would have to very intentionally do something that it's not meant to do for that to happen. Such as cast the spell Fireball centered on it.
I will not deny that possibility, but we will do our best.
Clara don't have fireball yet.
Thank God.
But she do got grenades!
Sorry if this is blasé, but is your sister originally from this plane of existence?
Her sister was a witch, bro.
You can't just ask people that. Oh my God.
As far as I'm aware, yes, we were born on this plane. And given the Guild Pact, we've never left it.
Wait, you say we were born. I apologize for my ignorance on the matters, but is she actually your sister?
In the same way that...
Can you rewind about 30 seconds because we had some hooligans over here?
You know, I ask a question, they mute the mic and start talking over your answer immediately.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry, what was the question?
The plane of existence.
Yeah. So, yes, we were both born on this plane of existence, and given the Guild Pact, we haven't been able to travel off of it. And to answer your question, Escher, I am her sister in the same way that Clara and Zyrilla are sisters, by the magic of our mother's blood, but not necessarily through birth.
Ah, unfortunate. I thought that could have been invaluable to some of my studies of blood magic, but I'll have to revise some of my notes then.
Is there any weaknesses in case the brick fails, just to know of, that we could exploit?
Well, we are products of our children. Formith has slain one of her children, and I don't believe the third has been found yet, which is why we are the first to march. If you're looking for a leg up in the fight, finding Perithia, her other daughter, if you take her out first, Lyzada will be weakened, expending her magic to try and revive her alongside her son.
That's a big ask.
Other than that, it is the standard things that might kill a human. Anything that decapitates tends to be fairly effective. She does have...
Is she under the same effects that all your thralls are that prevents my petrification magic?
Yes. I don't believe that will be particularly effective on her. You're welcome to try on me. Anything that works on me is likely to work on her, but I doubt it will be that simple.
I know your blood has granted gifts, such as the quote-unquote immortality through the blood thralls. Is there any, is it the same effects towards her guards, or is there any different thing we should keep a look for?
Each of us is a bit unique, so there will be differences. One of the reasons I wish her to be caged is that it will stop the revivification of any of her thralls. That is generic across us. But her thralls, unlike mine... 1 second, let me pull up a goddamn note.
Yeah, notes.
Here we go. Yes, so Each of us three sisters has a unique manifestation of our blood within our thralls. Whereas mine have learned to heal others and bolster them with their blood, my sister has taught hers and bestowed her gifts of amplification, physical prowess through blood magic, stronger weapons, curses on the very hit. That is why she employs more physically capable servants, whereas she might not have nearly as many thralls. Giants are far more effective in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, probably.
Noted. I will have to just adjust my spell preparation accordingly then.
I don't think we're gonna have time for that.
It's the morning. We're striking at night.
Yeah,
That's
and you,
been like 16 hours.
yeah, you need a long rest to do that, right?
Yeah.
You can't take a long rest within 8 hours of taking another long rest.
This is true.
Wow, you didn't already adjust your spells. Loser.
Trust me, pal, I thought the same thing. I had some stuff that could have been helpful.
What time is it right now?
Actually, speaking of a long
It's like
rest item,
5
though,
a.m.
Clara wanted to make a Jerry 2.
Yes, you could do that during your long rest. So, drunk-ass Clara, honestly, like, sleepwalking last night, makes a little
No,
mushroom
hold on,
man.
hold on. So this is what happened. Clara got emotional drunk and, like, just started blabbing on about how much she misses Jerry. And then just started grabbing random pieces of, like, fabric and candlesticks and, like, random shit. And started just, like, talking to it as if it was Jerry and creating this monstrosity out of just random materials around Hekara's house and is calling it Jerry 2.
She was emotional, and unfortunately, she's also magic.
Exactly. Like, as if a drunk person were, like, trying to think of their ex and manifest them into existence, she did that with Jerry.
Nice. Yeah,
That
so you
doesn't
just have a
sound
little fucking metal mushroom walking around next to you now.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, we're back to doing that then.
But, Sir Fawks, to be a bit more precise, you're from a religious background. I believe the Orzhov have paladins who have sworn themselves to the Obzdot, correct?
Yes.
My understanding is that paladins can channel some of their religious fervor into more devastating weapon blows. My sister's thralls can do something similar, though more necrotic than radiant.
Necrotic, you say? That is good to know.
That actually is good to know. And would something similarly necrotic be effective against them? Asking for a friend.
It depends on which ones you run into.
Yeah,
Her
oh.
blood, as it is less... She is given more through the volatility and damage as opposed to healing and utility as mine. My thralls come back mostly in the same state that they were when they died. Hers will continue to decay with each passing. Find the ones that have gone too far, and you might just be bolstering them with more necrosis. But the ones who have died few to none times should be just as affected by the rotting of tissue as a living creature.
That's a little concerning, but okay. Noted. Oh, man. And she wanted us to go tonight, right? Like that was because they're definitely going tomorrow.
Yeah, we have to go tonight.
Okay, because I'm just trying to figure out what I can do with the best of these spells I have, but fuck. Well,
Well,
it
there
sounds
is
like
always
yeah.
the option of we get in location for 3 p.m. tonight, we all take a power nap, and then strike at midnight.
I mean, that means we could do that, but that also means we'd have to be able to get in there and be safe enough to rest up and for you and I to change out our spells in what is essentially enemy territory. I don't know how that's gonna fly.
Oh, where is her mansion located on a map? Could you show us?
That's a good point.
Of course, it's about 6 miles away, so you shouldn't have to travel too far. I would recommend you avoid using any sort of carriage or horses, as you'll be easier to spot as you approach.
Well, I thought the whole point was that even if they spot us, they don't know us.
Yes, if you'd like to just storm the castle, feel free. I would recommend a bit of subtlety. Make your
I
lives
thought that was
easier.
So,
I thought that was your
what
intention.
you're
in
saying is
using
Clara was smart for taking disguise self.
For once, perhaps.
it. Yeah, actually.
Because, you know, when Clara walks in by herself trying to make a deception, it's really goes well for us.
Is there a
Oh.
map of Winmont somewhere I could look at to try to find, like, where this is?
Yes, anything you could provide us to give our group a tactical advantage before this endeavor would be greatly appreciated. Anything about the local area, the manor itself, her forces, anything you might have.
Yes,
What I really
yes.
want to know is how close is the closest tavern?
Just barge in and start swinging.
Assuming you don't mean the one that's inside the manor, you'd probably be looking at about a mile. And she like pulls out a map and she starts to mark out like where you are at this manor, how you would like kind of go back the around like 2.5 miles back into Winlot, and then there's a different kind of winding path that takes you through a bit of woods to this other manor that is now marked. And she shows how like while you're going east, there is the western gate that the path of the trail leads right up to. She marks out like a few other points of like, okay, this is where usually it's weaker, but with like the announcements of the fight, I'm expecting them to bolster up defenses here and here. At each of the gates will be at least one giant, up to 3. She has, as far as Hekara knows, 11 blood fray giants in her employ, as well as various other thralls, but the giants are really what she's looked into. Her son does not seem to have been revived yet. The daughter should still be alive, and either protecting the mother might be out doing something else. She does say that there's a chance that like they might be trying to mount a surprise attack on Hekara's manor to try and capitalize on the timing as well. But primarily, it is these 11 giants who are going to be split across the gates. She's expecting 2 of these giants at the main gate. And then once you're inside, it will be less about the giants and more individual guards and servants.
Good to know. Well, team, I do propose perhaps we should start getting ready and heading out. We could do a couple diversions to ensure that if our paths are being tracked, they don't directly lead there. Perhaps meet at this tavern, and then have several groups of us go out and do a few scouting missions, get and verify this information. Then we return and strike at midnight.
Scouting could be valuable, and while those of us who aren't scouting are waiting, I think we all will have quite a bit to discuss before partaking in such a dangerous expedition. I think we need to make sure we have the utmost preparation before going into this.
Indeed, which is why I would want to lay this out so that would give some of us the proper time to perhaps swap out some spells.
Man, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get away with it.
Oh, math. We woke up at 4 a.m., so we just have to go till...
I don't think your rest thing is gonna work out. I think we just gotta go.
So that would bring you to about noon for 8 hours. So 8 hours from then, if you slept from noon to 8 p.m., fuck it, you can... If you give up a full half day of preparation, of being able to do things in the outer world in favor of leaving at 8 p.m. to start heading out, you can swap out your spells.
Well, I'm talking about we prepare, get in position for noon at a tavern, then
Connor, you might want to
there.
stop planning.
What?
Yeah, if it's more than once in a 24-hour period, then...
That is straight from the PHB.
Okay, yep, it's not an 8-hour thing, it's a 24-hour thing. These are your spells tonight.
I'm gonna be the rules lawyer, but I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if I wasn't.
Hey, we rules lawyer for the rules. There is no good or bad.
Not spell magic, melt a stone, remove curse, divination, compulsion, locate creature,
Basically, none of
enhance
this spells
ability,
has a-
zone of truth, augury, borrowed knowledge, detect magic.
Part of the fun of this game is dealing with the situations with what you have and being able to better prepare as you learn more about the situation.
He
Get
can get
creative.
creative. I believe in him. Clar's
Yeah.
ready to fucking go. Let's storm the
Like-
castle.
Pass without trace is stupid anyway. Let's see what we can do without it.
Oh, we
You
don't
know
have
what?
a skill issue on this soundboard.
You didn't change your
Alright.
spell before this session?
We didn't get a long rest until just now.
I changed mine because I knew we were getting a long rest.
I didn't know we were marching today. It was verbally announced that we were marching
were-
in 2 days.
Uh-uh.
Uh-huh.
When?
At the start of the party.
Yeah, there was one day of party, and then the second day of
Today's
party.
the second day, so that's when the march was supposed to happen, but
Yeah.
it's not anymore to throw her off.
Yeah.
Well,
Hekara openly stated, I am trying to convince my sister that the party is still going on so you can infiltrate. So the public announcement where she said it would be tomorrow marching is tomorrow marching.
Yeah, like, the march isn't happening tonight. She's entirely correct. The party is still going on, minus, like, 6 people out of the thousands that will be there.
Clara's ready to fucking go. Let's do this thing. She just walks up with the brick in hand.
Are we sure we want to let her carry that?
I
Well,
was
maybe-
gonna say you should give that to Kai.
Or just, I mean, just keep it on yourself, but don't walk with it out. God forbid we get separated, and then this whole plan goes to shit.
Yes, I do think, though, that to make the best of our time, perhaps while Hekara is gathering the information for us that she said she could provide, like the map to the mansion, we can begin discussing our plans for tonight. And perhaps find a vantage point in the locale where we can approach from. Scouting, if you will.
Mama, where are Cirilla and Formith? I kind of want to say goodbye to them, just in case, you know?
Yes, very well. And she, like, reaches out, and you see as she does, like, a little bit of prestidigitation, and a little bell rings, and about a minute later, Zarilla and Formith, like, make their way down into the dining area. You summoned us, Mother.
Are they actually Zarilla and Formith?
Give me an insight check.
Doop-a-doo at disadvantage. Boop 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 boop.
Yep, that's them.
Okay. Hey guys, do you wanna go have lunch together today? Because Mama's sending me on a secret mission, and I just want to make sure I can spend as much time with you as possible.
And they kind of like look at each other and go, "Sure, yes, we can get lunch today. We can eat down in the fighting pits."
Oh, I was thinking like something just the three of us, like some sibling bonding. Oh wait, no, sibling bondage. No wait, which one is it?
Servitude.
Definitely the first one. And they kind of like give a glance to Hekara, and there's a slight nod, and they go, "Yes, we can have a more private meal together, and you can tell us whatever's on your mind."
Oh, she's definitely gonna be listening in.
That's
Asha, do you think I should rather save the spells to have available, or perhaps a little more bodies to get hit?
I think we should preserve our strength as much as possible. I think I think I know what you're planning, and for a mission as what's the word? As covert as this may end up being, I think we might need our full power. But I think Clara might have the right idea. As things may get a little intense, perhaps the rest of us should get something to eat as well this afternoon. I've been meaning to see a little bit more of Winlot, so perhaps we could find something more. We could find some interesting locale and use that as an opportunity to learn about the area and see if there's any other advantages we can use for tonight.
I suppose.
It depends. Is this an acceptable plan with everybody?
Good enough for
I also concur.
But Escher, spooky ghost boys.
I don't know what that means.
I can make spooky ghost boys.
Perhaps we can discuss over a meal. And
Well
plus,
then.
that will also give Hekara time to get that map of the mansion that we really need.
Yes. Perhaps let us go then. No time like the present for lunch. I love 4 a.m. lunch.
Breakfast. We're going to get breakfast.
Brunch.
What is that?
Oh, I forgot you're poor.
Excuse you. I have a career.
I do too.
And only one of you can afford brunch.
Oh, it's breakfast plus clever. Never would have thought of that.
Hey, Mama, in preparation for this big adventure, it's been a while since I got to use my tinkering abilities. Is there like a shop I could go try to craft some stuff in? I think it could help us for our quest.
Yes, there's a workshop that you can use on the second floor.
That's where Clara's gonna go after this conversation before lunch.
Brunch.
You know, she's actually going to lunch with her siblings. I'm like, you heathens.
Well, I think I think while Clara is off doing God knows what, perhaps this is the best time to make our exit, and we can meet back with Hekara afterwards if she will be available to finalize our plans.
Indeed, indeed. Team Fox, let's go.
You have a team now?
Fox is just leaving.
Was he ever going to introduce us to this team? All right. Well, I look forward to speaking with you again, Hekara.
I look forward to a victorious announcement from you all.
We'll probably speak again before that, but yes.
Let me know if there's anything you all need in preparation, and I will have the thralls prepare the maps for you.
Excellent. Then let us get our meal together then and investigate the local surroundings and figure out exactly what we're up against. I guess we're
Do we know if we're going to have our custom armor and enchantments ready by this evening?
Ah, yes, the tailor should be bringing them up to your room as we speak. I'm sure that by the time you head back up there, they will have arrived.
You know what? Let's go get those before we go.
Yeah, go
A
do that.
wonderful idea.
So, all right, I'll go with Fawks and I'll go pick up my new suit.
Yep, and they are all there. They're like neatly packaged and left at the door for each of you.
Nice. Can I just drop it in my inventory? Mine's mundane.
Yep.
Come on, compendium browser.
It's trying. I'm not on
It is.
V11 yet, so it doesn't have the improved compendiums.
It's okay. And before we go, actually, Fox, there was a place we passed in Winlot that I think could seem to make some rather intriguing meals if the rest of us would be inclined to join me.
Oh, indeed. Where would this place be?
Asher just kind of shrugs and goes, "I remember the location. I don't know how to describe it to you."
Well, then let's be off.
There we go. All right. Give myself one of these. Bop.
Zach, does my robe does that need attunement?
You got a cloak of protection, correct?
I believe so. Flavored as just robes with the same enchantment.
Well, yeah. Mechanically, you got a cloak of protection, correct?
Yes.
Then attunement is required.
That's gonna be an issue.
Connor, your old armor
Skill
just
issue.
bumped my AC up by 2.
I'm going to throw
Zach?
that in your thing for you.
Is changing subclasses a thing?
For your Blood Witch, if you would like to change to one of the others because you haven't really used any of it so far, if you want to change your bloodline, you can.
Yeah, no, that's not the one I was asking about.
If you want to change your Artificer subclass, that is something that we can talk about between sessions.
Okay.
I'm not going to say no, it's just we'll have to go through it.
I just found something and I am...
What a...
Do I know if I'm into something?
So, also, Zach, so is it safe to say, like, right now, are we able to kind of go back to Winlot a little bit to get food?
Yes, so you go, you pick up your stuff, and then it's strange, like, you are the only ones leaving the manor as more and more people are showing up. It's around like 6:30 in the morning now, and more people are showing up for the next day of revelry. But as you walk out, people are just kind of looking at you as if you're some of the later party goers leaving now in the kind of mid-morning. So you get a few second glances, but nothing to consider as you all begin the trek back to Winlot, which is about 2.5 miles.
Okay. Hold on. I have to read how something works. So also, just a clarification, because I don't do it too much. So encode thoughts does not need to be a memory. It can just be like a message.
Yeah, it can be a message.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it can be a message. It can also be a memory.
Okay.
So that is how you guys have been kind of subtly communicating with each other when needed. Is you can encode the thoughts and then have it be kind of indistinguishable to anybody else.
Okay. So if that is the, and I don't remember, is encode thoughts like a thing we're not supposed to do in public? Was that a I just don't remember. Is that like a red flag, or do people not really care?
It is a red flag.
Okay.
Like, that is something that is eye-catching if done in public.
Okay. I didn't remember. I didn't know if that was a weird spell or if it is just a regular spell that that people can access.
Literally only the Demir access it.
That's what I thought. Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh, wait a second. So if we're being scried, did the scribe witness you two doing the encode thoughts earlier?
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
I would
So
rather that
someone
than what we
was
talked
scrying
about.
us.
Yeah, so when you were being scried, like, encode thoughts was less about them not knowing you were communicating, so much as you are now obscuring the message so that they don't know what you're saying.
You're encrypting it. You know, the man in the middle can see the message being sent. They just can't read it.
Yeah. Okay.
So brunch.
Yeah. So Zach, I want to look for in Winlot. I want to find like an inn or something, or like a tavern that will sell us a private room for just for a meal, so we can have our own room for it.
No, it's been a while, but I can actually bring you all back to the Winlot Streets map. Yeah, so you make your way back to Winlot, and it is strange. It is, very empty compared to a few days ago when you were here, as it seems most people have gone off to one of the Blood Witch Manors with everything that's been going on lately.
Yeah, the entire city's at Hekara's house.
Cool.
That being said, there are, it's still people here. It's just not, hustle and bustle in the street. There's no random street performers going on right now. And...
Oh, Zach, really quick question. Do we know the race of Lyzada's children?
The son was a human. The daughter is a dwarf, and Lyzada is also a human.
And we don't know the other one? The one that hasn't been found?
They haven't been found.
She hasn't been found.
Well, I didn't know if they, knew that she was...
We knew the description of the kind of person.
Yeah, that's
missing.
okay. Because
in the same way that if you weren't one of Hekara's thralls, no one would have ever known about you. Is kind of the same about the third child for Lyzada.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, just because I was if we happen to see a certain weird-looking person walking around, I feel like Formith stands out because he's a fucking dragonborn. But I guess a dwarf doesn't probably stand out as much, so.
Yeah, I mean, dwarves aren't, the most populous race in this setting, but they are like normal.
Yeah. Commence.
But yeah, so as you make your way back to Winlot, as you kind of regather in that center street that you were at before all of this went down, across the way from the stage in the center is you do see a large building with the sign that says the Bloated Corpse Tavern.
Mm.
Yep, that was the one. That's the one I saw. In there, I want to kind of bring everybody in there and ask the tavern keeper. I want to tell him that we've had a long night. We want to sit down for a meal, and I want to guarantee that we will not be disturbed. Can we get a private room for us?
Sure. And yeah, you walk in, and there are kind of like two tavern keepers. One seems to be a like large human, tattered out in the skins of like various animals. All of them which seem to have like a bit of a fiendish tint to their fur and skin, and as well as a Viashino or lizard man who is also like manning it. And as you walk up and ask for the meals and the rooms, the human that's like decked out in the various furs and such goes, "We can guarantee you a private room. You got what, 6?
Yes.
Clara's not. Well, she'll come with you after, but she's not with you now.
Okay,
She's
so
staying
5.
back.
Yeah, 5.
Let's call it a gold ahead. You can have as much as you want to eat, and I'll guarantee nobody disturbs you in that back room."
Excellent. Go on, Fawks. Pay the man.
Yep, I pay him the 1 gold.
1. All right, you can go in.
And now that I've ensured he'll actually pay, I give him a gold as well.
Very good. All right, you two have a good time in there.
Are the rest of you coming?
Yes.
Yes, I'm joining.
You know what? I'll throw in an extra gold for Tavro. He's been through a lot.
Has he?
Enough.
Would you like any of our premium services? I promise you,
No,
we keep
no.
it very discreet.
That will not be necessary.
A
Simply
few
a place
happy
where,
endings.
a
Oh,
place
could
where
you
we can-
polish Tavro's horns for him? I hear he likes that.
I don't think he does.
They are the most sensational part of his body.
Yes, I believe he said that he does like it when it's a little sloppy on the top of his head.
And a little rougher than usual.
All
You know,
right.
if you have a few grapefruits, throw those in as well.
Oh, you're looking for our premium package. All right, we'll send in a few of our working lads and lasses.
Hi, Gideon. Will you be needing the Fawks charity service?
I thought it was 1 gold for the party.
No,
sorry.
1 gold each.
Okay, yeah, no, I will pay the 1 gold then. I thought you guys were just being very generous.
Do you know these people? Generosity is not in their
So
bones.
we get
Yeah,
so
but
we have the room though.
Yeah, and he kind of leads you back into this room over here. And you see as, like, it's a nice room. It's pretty large. There's a table. There's a, like, closet off to the side with a few beds. There's a fireplace with it crackling. And you see as he starts walking in, and he starts grabbing various things out. And as, like, you look at him as he's just grabbing these various bits and baubles, he goes, "You said you wanted total privacy." And then he just kind of shoves them all into a sack and walks back out into the, like, main area of the tavern and goes, "Enjoy."
And what? So is it just us back there now?
Yes. I'll move everybody. into
Okay.
it.
As he leaves, Escher immediately pulls a piece of spaghetti out of his head and slaps it into Fawks's head. And it is a thought. I encode the thought asking, "Are we still being scried?"
Well, magic's
with
king,
your
man.
with your permanent detect magic, there's still both divination magic and necromancy magic on Fawks.
So okay, because here's the thing. If there is a sensor, I won't be able to detect it because it's invisible. When I read the spell, I cannot detect anything that's invisible.
Correct. You can just detect that Fawks is still enchanted with both divination magic and necromancy magic. And you were told yesterday 2 pieces of divination magic, one of which was scrying. You don't know if that's still the case. You just know the school of magic that he's being affected by.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was also asking him if he knows if we still are, because I'm trying to figure out if it's him or Clara that's being scried.
I assume it's just the brain worm watching me.
The what?
It's a long story.
Do
They
you
don't care
want?
about the machinations of the Rakdos, I do not think. Right, at least not at the level we are at.
Is this something you want me to try and remove for you?
You can try.
Well,
Being like,
if I fail, it could do irreparable damage to your brain. So, are you sure about that?
For the sake of privacy, yes, go for it.
It's going to involve extensive surgery.
They did surgery on a girl.
All right, Escher, please explain how you do extensive irreparable damage to Fawks's brain.
Well, he said he has a brain worm. I was gonna cut it out.
Sure, is that how it
But
works?
if this is still more focused on you,
Probably
I
go
think
calm down.
Kai has the information that's more important to us right now.
Sorry, what was the consensus? We are or are not being scried?
We might be, but if we are, Fawks thinks it's not something relevant to the Rakdos. He thinks it's his own thing.
I mean, it's probably the elder god that's been threatening you and putting curses on you.
Yeah.
If it's a god, why would it need to scry? Why wouldn't it just watch you? Isn't that something they can do?
Gods are not
They're not
omnipresent.
Isn't that the point?
No.
Not entirely.
Oh,
Some of them, sure, but
Give me 10 minutes and I could see something about it.
what strange nonsense you all subscribe to, but if you would like, you could. If we're confident, though, that... are we confident that nobody from the Rakdos will be listening in?
I don't think we can be confident in anything regarding who is scrying us right now. We just know that somebody is.
Give me 10 minutes. Let's the food get prepared, we all order and all that stuff, and I might have an answer for us.
Okay. Then while he's doing that, I'm gonna pull out another spaghetti from my head and give it to Kai, because I want to encode a thought into him that asks, I think we should talk about our new handler.
and yeah, I'll just say out loud, I agree.
Because I don't remember, did you tell us everything that you two mentally talked about?
I did not tell anybody jack shit about that yet.
Yeah, Clara was like, "Did we find the guy?" And you're like, "Yeah," and then she just dropped the whole subject.
Because before I was able to mention anything, you all said, shut up, we're being scried.
Okay.
I will
Well-
augury, and I'm going to ask if we dispel magic on the scrying cast on me.
We can't, it's too high
will
level.
it-
I thought we tried that.
We tried it on
so-
the claimed soul.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask.
The
If
soul
we-
claim is what you have tried dispelling, and it came back after a minute.
So I'm gonna ask if we try dispelling the scrying cast on me, will it succeed or come back?
Well, yeah, this is a ritual, right?
Yeah.
So I get the one thing I will point out, it's a little metagamey, but I think our characters would know this. The scrying spell was a stronger spell than the soulbind one, which is why I tried to dispel the soulbind. I don't think either of us have a high enough spell level to dispel a scrying. Even if it doesn't come back, I literally don't think we have the means to do it.
Roll for this one?
You can roll on higher level spells.
Yeah.
It's just an automatic if it's at the same level.
Mm-hmm. There's a DC for the dispel at higher levels.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I guess that's
Come on, you
that's
didn't know
reasonable.
that? What the heck,
No.
man?
I don't take risks.
So, yeah, you set up your various incense sticks, the bones that you've already carved these ritualistic symbols into, and after 10 or so minutes, you're able to connect with this presence that has been invading your understanding for the last few days. You once again open yourself up to see the distorted figures of the dead surrounding you in this vast desert plain, with the emissary of the glint eye looking back at you. He just goes, "You cannot cut contact with me, but the one who was watching you before stopped when you left the mansion. Whoa."
I was about to say, I thought this was a one-word answer type deal, but I'm glad we got more.
Fawks has a little bit of an extra shit that happens when he auguries now. He actually
Oh,
gets
okay.
a fucking answer.
Okay, yeah, I was like, because I was like, this is a one-word answer, right? I'm not gonna complain, but I didn't know if that was intentional or not. So,
No, that was intentional, yeah.
okay.
I suppose. Thank you, but can you look away for a minute? I'm gonna use the bathroom, and I'm just gonna end the spell there.
And you
Fawks really pulled
even
up
as
on it.
the spell ends, you just kind of hear echoing in your brain, "I'm always with you."
Always watching was house dude.
Always watching.
Yeah, so as that finishes, I'm just gonna announce to everyone the scrying stopped. It's just they who shall not be named watching me right now.
Excellent. Then my suspicions are confirmed that while within the manor, Hekara has knowledge of what we say and do, but here, we should be okay. So, Kai, I believe you can speak freely for now.
I would like to do one more investigation just to make sure there's no, like, people listening at the doors or, like, people looking in the windows, stuff like that.
Absolutely. Give me that investigation check. You look around, like, you listen at the door, you shutter all of the windows to make sure nobody can see in. You are feeling pretty confident that you got what you paid for. This seems to be a truly private room. Other than the windows, which, like, were open, but you just shuttered them, and now you're confident that no one can see through. You don't hear, like, the telltale sounds of breathing on the other side of the door as if someone was listening in. Unless there is some sort of magical presence watching you, you feel pretty confident that there's no physical one.
Is that something I could detect, or like, or any of us could if there was magic around? That it's
I mean, I have detect magic up right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and right now,
Unidentified divination magic besides Fawks. That
Is
Yes,
there
so-
anything in here that I don't expect?
there is only one thing in here that you didn't quite expect. The fireplace has some evocation magic in it.
Continual flame. We're fine.
Yeah.
It seems to be along those lines, but other than the magic items that you all have on you and the 2 schools of magic that are still kind of in aura around Fawks, you do not see any other magic.
Yeah. So I think we're good. So, Kai, you may speak freely.
Right. Well, finally, we were able to get in touch with Delancre.
That's
He gave me
fantastic.
Sorry?
That's great news. I didn't think we would this quick.
I didn't either, but I guess it helps when all of Winlot is present in one specific area.
Huh. And did you get any
Ironically,
information?
the more people that showed up, the greater the chance for secrecy in getting in touch with him. So, I still do not know much, and that is all by design. You'll have to meet him at our new safe house, which he has granted me knowledge of its location.
Really? You know where it is?
I do, and given everything that's been happening, especially scrying that is going in and out, I'm going to keep that information to myself. However, I will lead us all there when the time is right.
Is the time not right now?
With Hekara watching us this closely, with her entire plan riding on our back, I'm not sure it's the best time to go be meeting with spies.
We know for a fact she's not watching us right now. This is one of the only times we do know that with certainty. Fawks has heard it from whatever he speaks to. There's nothing magical, and nobody has been following us. If there was a time, it would be now. In fact, this agent, this Delancre, might even be able to give us more knowledge on this new target of ours.
That's right, and we do know that she has an artifact that we
What?
are going to be looking for.
What?
The artifact
Look,
that
were
the
you-
sister has is what we need.
Were you not present for that conversation?
Oh, so... in case you didn't notice, I wasn't exactly myself yesterday. There's a good chance that I wasn't.
Oh my, you're right. So, Escher, something that would be good to know. Hekara and Lysolda are holders of these artifacts that we know is exactly the one you're looking for that is directly linked to this plague. There are 3, what was it? Did I write down keys?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so there are
We're-
3 keys needed to get to the tongue of Isolda, is what you were told.
The
And
artifact you've been looking for, directly linked to the cure for the plague, is the tongue of the first Blood Witch. It is guarded by 3 keys. Hekara has 1, Lysolda has the 2nd, and the 3rd has been lost to time.
I thought Hekara had 2.
No,
no.
Hekara has 1, and the other we have to attempt the trial of the Rakdos, and you might be able to create a new key.
oh no, that is not ideal. Wait,
Wait,
this is
Yeah.
wait, just to make sure. I want
Sorry.
like DM input. Is that correct that Hekara has 1, 1 is missing, the sister has the other?
Yes, that is the knowledge you've been given.
okay.
Kai, I'm beginning to notice a pattern I'm not quite sure I like. But we can address it later. So do we know what these keys are or what this artifact does?
All we know is that it is the missing key related to the plague.
Then we have to get it. There's no question
Agreed.
about it.
For once,
that-
we have a solid plan that we can agree on.
If that's the case, I think it is of utmost importance we speak with Delancre before he goes here. Before we go to whatever her name's his mansion. He might be able to guide us in a better direction to get this artifact. He seems to know more than we do. Perhaps he's even seen where it's being held and just didn't have the keys.
Not only that, but I think we still need to get Hekara's key at some point.
Eventually,
There-
yes.
Therein lies the issue. You said there are 3 keys.
Correct.
I've noticed a bit of a trend with the Blood Witches, and I'm not quite sure I like it.
Care to elaborate?
All these Blood Witches all seem to operate on a formulaic system that this blood magic appears to be mathematical almost in nature in my studies. That when I've carried out and looked at the runes and the rituals that I've transcribed in my notebook, though I'm not quite sure when I did this, and with the history and what Clara and Hekara have both said, it seems that blood magic seems to just come in intervals of 3 at a time. 3 keys. Hekara has 3 children. She has a sister, and I believe they may have another sibling. I'm not quite sure that Hekara has this key. I think Hekara herself may be the key. Or, I guess perhaps Hekara herself is not the right wording for it. What would Clara call it? Bloodline.
Do we know how long Lies oldest child has been missing?
So it's not a missing thing. It is more of a
Unfound.
unfound.
But it's the nature of their magic, and mixed with the fact that both of these sisters seem to uniquely have 3 children, one of which had been kept a secret for a long time. It's hard for me to not notice a pattern there. My theory is that all of these... Hekara mentioned in our meeting previously something that enlightened me. She said her sister's blood has different properties, that where hers enables this immortality we see in her servants, that her sister's embodies physical strength. My theory is that blood magic and this blood witch, whatever they call it, is not unified. There are 3 different... I would call it a strain, but 3 different types of blood magic. Hekara's blood in her bloodline carries one. Her sister carries another, and I fear there may be a 3rd that they're looking for. This tongue may be the answer to that. And I have a feeling that this might be the answers to everything we've been looking for. The question is, what is this 3rd key? Perhaps she's trying to transform Clara into this 3rd form of blood magic that has been lost. I haven't studied it enough to know, but if the patterns I'm seeing are true, it's not good.
Well, either that or she may have us try to complete this Rakdos trial, which would allow her to create a new key, effectively rendering that 3rd one that has been lost to time not needed anymore.
I don't know much about this trial, but if it's something powerful enough to create a new form of blood magic, that is dangerous. But I still think if everything that we've heard so far is true, we may have to play our role here and carry this out until we can get that tongue. But I'm still a little perplexed. Kai, did Delancre say anything about how this tongue is supposed to work, or the type of magic contained within it?
He did not.
Then there's only my theories. This blood magic, the way it operates is biological in nature, and I've had my suspicions that it and the plague befalling all of Ravnica may be related in some way, but this only further proves what I've been thinking. I hate to admit it, but this blood witchery, it may be more important than I originally thought. That being said, how much do we trust Hekara and these other witches?
Very
Incredibly
little. Very little.
I figured. That's
I will put it this way. I've been contacted by an eldritch abomination that is...
lovely.
What is the correct word? All-seeing, omniscient, all-powerful, and malevolent. And somehow I trust it more than Hekara.
How far away is this new safe house?
But, I'll answer that in a second. But first, Fox, you really need to reprioritize who you trust.
Yeah, that is a very solid point.
Gideon, the safe house is insert number of miles and or feet to safe.
It is in Winlock. It is in Winlock.
How long would it take us to get there?
That's kind of
15
what I
minutes.
was going for.
Oh, okay. So it's close. Okay, that's good to know. Well, Kai, before we go, did Delancre say anything else, or did he only inform you about the nature of this artifact?
He has informed me again of very little by design since we are in such a public setting.
Well, if we go and meet with him in private, perhaps he could tell us more, and I fear we're about to become major players in whatever game is being organized. That may be something he wants to know.
Become?
I
think we are.
Not yet we're... not yet we're not, but once we...
We were on the bench and now we're in the starting rotation.
Being trusted to enact the plot that is supposed to bring down all of Ravnica.
Yes, but it hasn't been enacted yet. Once it is enacted, we will have to pick a side, and that is when we become players in this game.
We're already players in the game because we're setting the wheels in motion by our action.
Get your head in the game.
Regardless of what we do.
Why am I feeling so wrong?
Most don't know of our involvement, though, and soon all players might. It will become a question of which side we will be playing for. And I think speaking with Delancre may help us isolate that.
To be fair, I agree we should speak with Delancre.
I propose a vote. We all put a memory strand in and we say which side we support. We shuffle them up. Everyone takes one. Then we announce it.
What?
Can you
Which side?
shuffle?
Kind of
Can you
what?
shuffle these? I don't think that's how the spell works.
You
Sleight
just
of
put them in
hand
a hat.
check.
Side of what, though? Side of destroy Ravnica or save Ravnica? I'm
What are our
confused.
options?
Yeah,
Destroy
Well,
the
no.
guild pact or protect the guild pact.
I think
What?
everyone's in agreement on
What?
which.
I'm talking about... I was talking between these two sisters. What are you guys talking about?
He's like, let's overthrow everything.
Hold on,
So-
wait,
Imposter! Imposter! He is the sister.
Your democracy is voting between two things that
I thought the guild pact was democracy. It's each guild.
No.
The Guild
anything,
Pact
the
is
Guild
a
Pact is
magically
autocracy.
binding, hyper-powerful artifact that keeps the guilds very strict in their structural power and also completely cuts off Ravnica from the other planes.
You know, democracy.
what exactly?
Tell me, what
Wait,
part of Niv Mizzet is democracy?
wh-
If I remember
Well,
quite clearly, one of
what?
us wants to kill him. So if you kill
What?
him, you destroy the guild pact. So are we
That-
for the guild pact
not
or
how
against
the
it?
guild pact works.
what?
Killing a guild leader doesn't make the entire contract go away.
We need to steal an artifact. What are you all talking about?
Let's just go to the safe house. and pretend like we all do want the guild pact to stay in place and that none of us are plotting to overthrow life as we know it.
This has
I'm
nothing to
sorry
do with
to
it.
have- The safe house is for overthrowing the guild pact.
This has nothing to do with the guild pact. We need a tongue.
Why does the guild pact mean, or why does the safe house mean overthrow the guild pact?
You're not here.
I'm just trying to.
You went to have
Okay,
lunch
I
with
asked
your
that same question.
siblings.
What makes you think that the safe house is for overthrow?
I also fucking love how, like, so much would be different if Clara was here talking right now.
Oh,
Safe house. Demir. Releasing giant plague. Killing all the people on top of the guild. Starting an inter-guild
That we
war.
were releasing the plague.
They
Before
went on a mission to release the plague. The Demir are the ones machinating all of this.
And-
What is it for at the end, if not complete and total control?
And before the end, we need to make sure everybody doesn't die before we get there. And that is going to involve getting that tongue. So we need to decide what the best course of action is, and which of these blood witches is our best chance of getting our hands on it without them taking it from us.
also, aren't we supposed to be like working for the Azorius technically?
Yeah, we're all supposed to be disguised as Demir agents. Which means if we go against the Demir, then it blows our cover entirely.
We're
And we fail our mission.
triple agents.
Well, we're all agents of our own guild. Then we're all also working for the Azorius, who are all by proxy working for the Demir.
The guild
And
pact
while we're
is
fighting
the-
as the Demir, we are once again working for our guilds.
Look, we can organize the specifics of who works for what guild later. I still think the most important thing is figuring out how we get our hands on this artifact. Once we know we can get it, then we can begin the discussion of what to do with it after. But first we need to decide how we're going to get it. Because as it stands right now, there are two powers that want it, and neither is going to give it to us. And knowing what it's capable of, I don't plan on giving it to them.
Yes. Our two options, apparently, are spread the plague or stop it. And both of those options require a key.
No, those are not the two options. The two options is help one sister or help the other. I'm one step at a time, people.
I am
What's
going off of logic that's supposed to be reaching the entire party, but
We have the trust of one. I would rather use that, and if we exploit it later, they're sending us on a mission. We literally ate breakfast at their manor. If we're gonna assassinate a blood witch, I would say at breakfast after a victory would be a great time.
I agree.
If we go after Lysolda, get her key, bring it back to Hekara, who then has the other key, then kill Hekara, then we have two keys.
That's all. That is a big ask.
And then
Do
we
it-
don't
have
know how to get the third.
And then we
key.
don't know what. And then
Profit.
profit.
There is another question of, have we ever met Lysolda?
We're about to.
There is always the chance that she would be more cooperative than Hekara would.
Well, as you said before, all of this could ride on extra information we may be able to glean from our handler.
Yeah. If we are going to meet with Delancre, though, perhaps we should wait for the small one and bring her with us. It might be valuable information for her to know as well, and there's no telling when exactly we'll be able to get that information to her unnoticed. Unless we think it's too much of a risk for her to know.
May I suggest this be where we call for
Yeah,
tonight?
I was just about to say, I think
Yeah,
this
I
is
just-
probably a good place to call the session.
Zach,
Then yeah.
if you're still available on the drive home, I could do what me and Formith and Zorilla talk about at lunch. Oh, also, she wants to attempt to craft something, but that might need a roll.
That will need a roll, unless it's one of the things that your feature just lets you do. I would normally say yes to that, but I am actually going to go see a movie now. So,
Oh, wow,
Damn.
fancy.
What movie are you seeing?
The Little Mermaid live action remake.
Like, it's good.
Nice.
Actually, the best live action remake.
Wait,
Which,
really?
again, isn't saying much,
That's-
but
I'm the king of trash.
All right, well, I'm gonna go see the King and Queen of Trash.
Yeah.
Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Bye.
Hey.
Yep, have fun.
Thanks for a good session.
Woo.